Hey guys, Jamie Lee here with Progressive Programming, and we're going to be talking about the month of November for our preview. So real quick, let's recap on the month of October. We had our primary strength of the Olympic lifts, the hang snatch and a squat clean. At the end of the month, we tested both in an EMOM format, moving from the snatch directly into the squat clean. Our secondary strength of October was the back squat. Now, the back squat, working with either a high bar or a low bar, we're going to continue that same squat into our upcoming month, which we'll talk about here in a second. Then our gymnastics or strength work was a unilateral dumbbell exercises, different complex variations, along with some parallel work and L-sit work. Now, the back squat and the parallel work is going to transfer into our month of November. Now, for the month of November, the back squat, still working with either the high bar or the low bar, is going to be our primary strength for the month of November. Now, we didn't test our 1 rep max. We did work up to a 2 rep max in October. We hit a little deload at the end of the month, and then we're picking up into November with a fairly high percentage, along with a good amount of volume. As we move through the month, you'll notice that volume drops, as well as the intensity increases pretty heavy. Through this month, at the end of the month, when we get to those higher percentages, we will be implementing some accessory or auxiliary movement patterns to develop some additional strength without putting that extra stress on our central nervous system to allow us to continue to perform throughout the weeks. Okay. Now, for our secondary strength for the month of November, we're going to be doing the same concept that we had for October to November with the back squat. This time, we're going to be going with a deadlift for November as our secondary, and then transitioning that deadlift into our primary strength for the month of December. Secondary in November, primary in December. The idea of that is, once again, it gives us more sessions under our belt to continue to progress and work with that linear progression to get to that heavy set. The end of this cycle, we won't be testing our deadlift. We will be doing some more accessory work just to kind of work on building strength without taxing our central nervous system, because we are testing our back squat at the end of this month. So we don't want to have a heavy deadlift while we're trying to test our back squat as far as this cycle is concerned. Now, for our gymnastics skill strength focus for this month of November, last month we had that unilateral strength exercises with the dumbbells along with the parallel work. We're going to use that parallel work and transition that into our ring dips. Now, for this month, we're going to be working on 3 different patterns. We've got our ring dips, strict pull-ups, and double unders. Now, if you do not have a ring dip, let's work on progressing maybe from a bench to maybe a set of rings with maybe assisting our legs. If we're near a ring dip, let's work the ring dip, but have that assisted feet on the ground or toes on the ground, so that way we have a way to assist in that pattern while still stabilizing versus using a band through, which kind of helps this stability aspect and takes that away from you to work on developing on your own, right? The band will do it for you versus you figuring it out on your own while using your legs for assistance instead. So we've got our ring dips and then our strict pull-up. Now, for the pull-up, really want to emphasize the importance of the range of motion. Now, when I talk about the pull-up, it can be pronated, supinated, we can go mixed grip, however you want to do it, as long as we're starting from a dead hang and chin clearly over the top. If you cannot maintain those movement standards, have a band standby. If you have to break up the sets, that's fine. Just make sure we're getting the volume and the work done with the correct range of motion while controlling that full range of motion. For our skill aspect, we've got double unders. So the first 2 movements are a little bit neurological as far as the balance goes on the rings. The pull-ups is going to be a little bit more strength physiological adaptations, but with double unders, this is a heavy emphasis on the neurological aspects. So there's the coordination, there's our accuracy, and some agility involved. So while we practice skills, we need to think about lowering the intensity so we can maintain some consistency with the pattern, and then we find our intensity. So as we move through this month, the double unders is going to be our focus for the gymnastics side of things as a skill, okay? What we want to focus on is constantly moving that rope while maintaining a nice organized position. If we start to break down or throw our arms a lot, let's stick with single unders and find the control of our position and then add double unders to it. So if we're starting off with single unders, instead of doing 40 double unders or 40 single unders to 20 double unders, let's stick with that 20 single unders but throw a double under attempt every 3, 5, maybe 10 reps. That way we're working on our positioning. Can we go from that single to a double back to a single? That requires a good amount of coordination and accuracy. So it's a great way to develop our double unders, whether it be in the skill format or even in a WOD. Okay, so keep that scale as an option for the WODs. So that is our progressions for this month. As far as some notables, we are going to repeat last year's hero workout from Veterans Day, Coughlin. This is a great workout, just be prepared to hang on. Then we also have our turkey trot. This is a weird time to pull the community together with COVID going on. It may not be something that is feasible to do, but regardless, I went ahead and added our link to Sugar WOD with a breakdown of how to run or how we run our turkey trot here at Diablo. It's a great event. We set out some stakes and create a course with some movement patterns along the way, and it's totally doable if you need to maintain some social distancing. So just maybe don't have a big main meetup time, but run it in heats or waves, or just go out ahead of time and mark out the course, so that way your clients or members can go ahead and have fun outside the day of Turkey Day. Now, along with that, we will be testing our back squat at the end of this month. We will not be testing our deadlift. Once again, that's our secondary strength for this month. For December, we will be testing our back squat, so something to look forward to. The open, we will be repeating an open workout. This is 18.2 and 18.2A. So 18.2 is an ascending rep scheme from 1 to 10 of front squats, dumbbell front squats, and bar facing burpees. There's a 12-minute cap, and after you finish that couplet, we're gonna pick up a bar for a heavy clean. So coming off of our last month, the beginning of this mesocycle, we tested our hang snatch on an EMOM, and then we tested our squat clean after all that work. So we've got some experience and exposure to moving into a heavy clean after work. Now we're gonna do that heavy clean after a WOD, okay? So it's gonna be a great workout, one of my favorites from the open. Along with that, we've got a girl workout, Kelly. Now this is a doozy. So Kelly is 5 rounds for time, 400-meter run, 30 box jumps, and 30 wall balls. Yes, that order. So what we need to keep in mind is this is, like I said, this is a hefty workout. There is a ton of volume, especially on the ankles between the running and the box jumps. Also, you're jumping a little bit on the wall ball. So make sure you're keeping your weight back in the heels, or remind everybody that we're keeping our weight back in the heels during the wall balls, and that we can modify this. That is 150 wall balls with 150 box jumps and a 1.25 mile run. So scale appropriately. We have a 39-minute time cap to this workout, and it wouldn't be a bad idea if you've never done it before, maybe completing 4 rounds of it, or even modifying some of the rep schemes if we really need to take it easy on the volume. So that is our sessions for this month. So it's going to be a great time, and going into our next month, December, we'll get ready for a heavy deadlift at the end of the year. Have fun, guys.